What's going on, Lock Talk family? It's your boy Jason, and we're back with another YouTube video breakdown. NFL Monday Night Football, the Buccaneers against the Chiefs. I got it right behind me. But before I go off and start dropping these gems, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment for the YouTube algorithm. It only motivates me more and more to come up here and give you guys all this value. And we have a really good game, man. The Chiefs against the Buccaneers, a big spread right here, 9-point spread. Let's go talk about it. But before I do go off, anyone who dropped in and is watching this video, go to the code down below and grab yourself a super discount, bro. Use code Parlay right behind me. You'll get all the plays today for $3.50. Who else doesn't want that? Super cheap. Go grab it. Super affordable. And let's go run it up today. That's my thanks to all you guys for showing support. But also, we had an amazing week in premium, man. 8.3 units up, 58% win rate. That's across all the singles. We crushed UFC. I'll put some tickets right here. MLB, UFC, NBA, and soccer is back, man. And this week, NCAA college basketball is back. We're going to go through the thick of it into March, man. So tap in because this is the best time to be sports betting if you are a sports bettor. But all right, guys, let's go straight into it. Let's talk about some of these games, man. I mean, the number one game, man, right here. The Chiefs against the Buccaneers. The one thing I do want to say is that Buccaneers have really, really good stats, but you have to remember, man, they are missing some key guys. They're missing Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. They do have Bucky Irving and a bunch of their running backs, which has been a big improvement thus far. But the one thing I do want to say is that the Chiefs have a really, really good defense, man. I mean, just take a look. Rushing yards, second in rushing yards, yards per carry, one of the top teams in the NFL. The Chiefs are a team to be reckoned with, man, to be honest. They're known for their offense, obviously, with Mahomes and Kelsey and all the other guys that they got. They just picked up Hopkins. So, I mean, really good. But, you know, the offense of the Buccaneers is a little bit concerning just given, you know, how good this Chiefs defense is and the injuries that exist on the Buccaneers side. So, I am really curious to see how we end up doing over here. But I do think, you know, the Buccaneers will have some chances to move down the field possibly, but obviously it's not going to be very easy for them at all. The other thing I do want to say too is that the Buccaneers have been pretty good at converting third down conversions. Obviously, they haven't played the best teams and they have a really good running game, but I do want to say that it hasn't been like that straightforward. So what I mean is that the Buccaneers have not played the best defenses thus far. One of the teams that they played were the Saints. They don't have a really good rush defense. They've also played a few other teams that I'm not in big favor of or really too high on their rush defense or their defense in general. The Atlanta Falcons, the Denver Broncos, pretty good, but they don't have the best rush defense either. New Orleans Saints, I think their rush defense is a little bit of a fraudulent team, not like last year. Same thing with the Jets, but, you know, I think their offensive stats are a little bit overinflated just based off their strength of schedule. And also given the fact that they're missing some key offensive guys against one of the tougher defenses in the league, I think their offense can struggle. We flip this over. We go to the Kansas City offensive side. Look, their offense is really good, but they haven't been the best, man. They haven't been super efficient in the red zone. They obviously convert red third downs. They're pretty good at, you know, their passing and the rushing, and they're pretty average, man, to be honest. Like, they're not world beaters, but I mean, they haven't had the most blowout winning scoring games, right? But I'll say this. They have a very high offensive efficiency, which is going to be very critical to moving the chains, I think, in this game. Bucs obviously have not been the best at stopping third down conversions. That's going to be huge for this Chiefs team if they do that. But the one thing I will say is that in the red zone, Bucs have been a little bit better. But, you know, Chiefs have not been the greatest in converting in the red zone in general. But they excel in short yardage type of plays, man. I mean, underneath, throwing to tight ends, throwing to the running back. I mean, Mahomes is an expert at creating something out of nothing, in my opinion. Tampa also has kind of struggled on the defensive side. They've shown weaknesses, particularly in recent games, allowing 36 points per game and struggling top offenses on third down. Obviously, I just showed you guys right there. But, you know, this obviously really helps the Chiefs in converting third down. Just giving a look at that. Second in the league right now in third down conversions. Also on the defensive side for the Bucs, I mean, the Bucs defense is healthier for sure than the offensive side. But they're missing some secondary guys like Jamel Dean and Antonio Winfield, who's questionable in this game. I haven't seen anything yet that says he's going to play. But, you know, there's going to be an advantage for Patrick Mahomes, even with some of their own issues on the wide receiver side and the running back side. I mean, they obviously don't have Pacheco and a bunch of the other guys that they've been known for. Other things I think we want to consider in this game, I'll get to this line movement in a minute, but the Chiefs' blitz frequency. Mahomes has been very effective against the blitz, and the Buccaneers blitz is at a very high rate under Todd Boyles. I mean, Mahomes is able to handle the blitz fairly well. So I think it doesn't really matter if they throw the blitz. Obviously, if they can get to him, they can get to him. But Mahomes has the experience and the strategy, I think, to get past it. Baker Mayfield on the other side against the blitz, he's excelled as well. Chiefs use frequent use of this play to their advantage, but I think he's also been pretty good. However, I think without some like reliable receiving options, which he has some, but obviously they're not going to be the Mike Evans, the Chris Godwins of the world. It's going to be tough for him. The one other thing I also want to say about Mahomes is that the cover 3 defense. Todd Bowles loves to employ the cover 3 defense, a scheme that Mahomes has kind of struggled with this season, ranking low yards per attempt and pass rating overall against this coverage. But I think it can give the Buccaneers a slight defensive edge, but I don't think it's going to be enough to really, obviously stifle Mahomes. I mean, he's probably the best quarterback in the league, maybe not by the stats, but in terms of his ability and experience, I mean, I can't really say too much bad about him, man. As much as you want to hate on the man. With that being said, where do we go from here? I mean, I've seen the line go from 8.5 to 9. Obviously, you see in the graph right here, line's kind of sitting at 8.5. That's where I'll probably put, even though in the beginning I did show a 9. 8.5 is the line I've seen across most books, and the public is very split. 50-50 Bucks. KC, man. I mean, so tough one. I mean, I don't love betting big spreads at all. So, obviously, initially I was like, even without Chris Godwin and without Mike Evans, can Tampa Bay cover 8.5? I mean, doesn't take too much to cover this big number, man. But I will say, with Kansas City being at home, I do want to say that I kind of like KC in this game. I think their defense will be enough to stifle Baker Mayfield and that run offense. And I think KC is going to be good enough to move the ball downfield and get some points on the board. Whether they cut 9 is tough. I think overall, I favor KC to cover in this game. I think their ability to control the drives and capitalize on Tampa Bay's defensive vulnerabilities will be very clear. In terms of over-under, I don't have the total right here, but let's go up real quick. 45.5. I mean, I kind of favor an under. I think, the Bucs are going to try to stop big plays. Chiefs will probably run the clock out, use the running game, use short passes, use Kareem Hunt. And also, I think Buccaneers may have a tough time scoring in this game. So even though I think definitely can see the Chiefs, it kind of maybe goes along with what I'm saying. Like, it's very usually counterintuitive. Most people want to bet the dog with points and bet the under. But I like the Chiefs here, man. I think the Chiefs will get some points on the board and maybe limit the Bucs to scoring not too many points. So I think overall, I think the Chiefs' short yardage, like gain type play, drains a lot of the clock out, and the Bucs will probably have to, have a tough time converting in the end zone, even if they even get there. As you can see right here, red zone efficiency. They've been very good, but I mean, the Chiefs have a really good defense, and this is also, they have such a high efficiency just because of the teams they played and then the offense they did have. I think, now against a more top-tier defense, this won't be the case. They won't have this strong of stats. So, again, with that being said, for the game pick, I will go with the Chiefs, minus 8.5. And then for the total, I'll lean under. But I like KC more, and I think the under in this game. But before I go, I want to give you guys some game picks or some props that you can possibly look at. I want to give a shout out to my boys at Daily Grind Fantasy. Use the code LOCK down below on the link I'm providing for Daily Grind Fantasy. They give you in this obviously image right here. I'm going to take a look. The best lines for a given sportsbook, and I'm using Rebet, a sportsbook that's available in every state, 47 states, basically every state. Use code LOCK as well there, and you'll get a huge promo, $100 sign-up bonus for signing up, and you can use on these right here. So the top 4 props that there's a lot of expected value are Kareem Hunt under rushing attempts, under 17.5. They have that at minus 101 on Rebet. If you could go right here, like if you see right here, Rebet 101 minus 101 over everywhere else, minus 128, minus 115, minus 130. So you're getting 20 cents of value on that. Baker Mayfield to throw an interception. I think that's definitely possible. Excuse me. Rebet, it's plus 131. Everywhere else, it's plus 110, 108, another 20 cents of value. And then even some other ones I really do like. Rashad White, under 3.5 receptions, plus 106 here. It's even minus 105 on other books. That's huge. And then the last one, Noah Gray, under 23.5 receiving yards, minus 101 here, minus 110, minus 125 on other books. So, guys, if you guys want to take a look at this and also get $100 on Rebet, go to the link down below. It's an easy sign up. But again, guys, thank you so much for tapping in. And let's go run it up, baby.